Well, hello everyone. This is Star Ravenhawk, and this is on the Magical Witchy World TV.
And I am Rhonda Allen. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday
Yes, happy Friday. And now on with the show.
with our special guest.
It's a magical, witchy world. It's a magical, witchy world.
I love that song.
Me too.
Like, yeah,
Yes.
that's what you should live on. Just me, like,
I was singing as it was in the background there as it's
with my,
going.
Yes.
like Charo hair that I did today for work.
Oh, that
Yeah,
is fabulous. But you look beautiful.
Yeah,
Carrie, welcome, welcome to
I'm
Magical
so
Witchy
excited. Thank you
World.
so much for having me.
We are so excited to have you.
Yay!
So,
And wait, before you begin that part with about her, just wanted to
yes.
quickly say again, I always try to say it if I could remember. The song, our theme song is performed by Dark Moon, by Fred of Dark Moon, and he did such a wonderful job. He
It's so
wrote
good.
the song for us. He wrote the song for the show.
Yes.
So that's why we have it. That's our
The
theme song.
glamour. I love
Dark
your
Moon
just like,
Spirit. Yes.
the
Okay.
glamour
Dark
going,
Moon
darling. The
Spirit. It's
glamour.
All
The
right.
glamour.
it is
Dark
fabulous.
Moon Spirit. That's right.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
even forgot that part. Okay, thank you.
So
That's fab.
Carrie Ewers, right? I want to get
Yes,
your
yes.
yes, awesome. Carrie is a New Orleans witch coven founder, reverend elder, and priestess of the Alexandrian tradition, devotee of Hecate, and a necromancer.
Yes.
Born in the Appalachian
Yes.
Mountains, Carrie learned to tap into the worlds of magic in her earliest childhood. She is a gifted clairvoyant medium and tarot reader, certified as an astrologer with the National Council for Geocosmic Research, and as a Reiki practitioner with the states of New York, Virginia, and Louisiana.
Yay.
She is a reader at Hex in New Orleans, at 1219 Decatur Street in the French Quarter, reads for private clients throughout the area, and is a priestess of the New Orleans Coven. So thank you again for
Yes, yes,
joining us. Now,
absolutely.
before we move
Me-
further, I want to ask, is there a website or URL that we should have people find you at? Because we will gladly scroll that through our conversation tonight.
Well, I don't have one. I should. I
That's
should.
okay.
Christian's one of
Social?
my many friends. It's like, please make a website. And I was like, I will one day. I promise.
Yes.
Um,
Social
you
is
know,
It'll
on
be
he's
there
helpful.
somewhere, right?
yes, and he's him being a Capricorn. He's definitely my most tech savvy friend.
Mm-hmm,
Most of my
mm-hmm.
friends are far more tech savvy than I am. But I do not like. They know how to obviously get in touch with me at Hex New Orleans. But
Why
y'all,
not?
you see my name, Carie Ewers. Anybody that's watching this, like, shoot me a message on Facebook at any
Yeah,
time, and
that's
I
it.
Okay,
usually
awesome,
stick to
awesome.
them unless they're weird, and then sometimes I will read them and show my friends. Um,
That's
but
awesome. So people can find you on Facebook.
yes,
Facebook.
Look up
Okay,
Carrie
right,
Ewers.
yeah,
Perfect.
Facebook,
okay,
or
awesome.
also
Excellent.
real quick on Instagram. I'm a little more
Instagram.
active on Instagram. I'm Darth Borealis, and Instagram it's
Dark Boreal.
Darth, like Darth Vader.
Oh,
So
Okay,
Darth
all right,
Borealis. That's me.
got it.
perfect.
Behind me, y'all, I just to say, so I've been so excited about doing this, and I know when we were going to do it in October, like it's, I'm very grateful. Like, I'm very busy, but I'm our haunted tour guide here for the shop too. I do the New Orleans Spirits and Spells tour,
Ooh,
and I had my tour tonight. It just timed perfect. Like, I finished with my guests. We finished everything. We did our ritual in the courtyard, and that's when I was like, "Swoop, I'm here." So I'm
that
actually
is
So
sitting
awesome.
in.
we are very glad you made the time to be with us here tonight. Thank you
This
so
is
much.
like the little shipping office at the shop, because I only live 10 minutes away, but I didn't want to keep y'all waiting. So I was just like,
Right,
okay,
right, right.
here I am.
Okay,
So
sounds
we're all
good. Sounds good. Okay. So one of the first questions we ask people, because we try to because one of
Yes.
the things that the reasons for the show is to identify and show people that there's so many different types of magical people and what they call themselves or refer to themselves. So we know that many people kind of go through their lifetime of wherever this journey took them, and they begin maybe calling themselves, I don't know, something like Wiccan or whatever it is, and as they grow and they learn, they call themselves, and where they end up they call themselves something very different. So we wanted to kind of do that arc and see, like, what did you refer to yourself as? Not high priestess or any of those titles, we're not talking about titles, but what you refer to yourself as, yourself in your journey itself, where you began with it and where you are now with it.
I have always loved that word witch, because when I first started practicing where I grew up, I'm originally from Appalachia. I'm from a city in Virginia called Roanoke, and
Mhm.
I found I my first book when I was 10 years old, and that was 1982 going on 83, and it was still very scandalous, and not that many people really in any part of the world were kind of out of the broom closet, and definitely not anybody that I knew. And
Right.
I've always liked word that word for the power that it holds, and just the energy, like when you say so powerful and it's so definitive. And I love that. And
Right.
priestess, I've always loved. Long before I didn't get initiated into Alexandrian witchcraft till I was 40 years. I was like almost 41. I had 30 years of practice, and I always liked that word priestess because of it just sounded very mystical and very spiritual, but I liked the amount of like devotion and service that was attached to that. So like
Mm.
witch and priestess have always been my kind of my go-tos, my two favorites. Spooky
Right
broad, I
on.
All
like
right.
now too. That's the other one.
Okay. Okay.
Crone.
I
I'm
like that
embracing
too.
crone a lot. Being in my 50s, I'm just like crone life. Yes, I love it.
Right
I
on.
love it.
Actually, you know what? You said something that, and just really quickly, Rhonda. She
Hmm.
mentioned Roanoke. Roanoke, you said?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. It's
Yeah.
just the
Perfect. Okay.
funniest thing that all this time speaking to people, I've never met anyone who's mentioned that part of Virginia. I think you said, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right. But and I've read it in a book from J.J. Murray that he's a great author, and I guess
Oh,
he's from
I know
there
exactly what you're talking about.
because he writes about that area so much, and you're the first person I've met who's outside of his books that talks about it. So I'm glad to hear that. Okay,
It's a
sorry, Rhonda.
beautiful. The thing with Roanoke is a very
Roanoke.
artistic, very cool city, and a very liberal city in the middle of a state and in the middle of a part of a state that is not.
Ugh.
So
Mhm.
Roanoke, it was a very cool kind of little area to grow up in, and also not just in all of Appalachia, but that region, especially when you're drifting into like Tennessee, like because Tennessee, where I grew up, Tennessee is 2 hours this way, North Carolina is about an hour and a half down, and then West Virginia is about an hour and a half up there. Like those mountains and those energies and those magics, y'all, they are old and eldritch. And
Mhm.
those are the kind of woods you go into them at night and something whistles, you don't whistle back.
Right.
Whistle back.
Right.
Okay.
I visited Roanoke a few years back, actually on our way when we were going out to Missouri Star for the
Oh
event
yeah.
out in
Okay.
Missouri. Yeah.
Oh, very
And
cool.
beautiful city. Loved it, loved it.
Yay.
Tell us now that you've introduced us a bit to identify as witch, and that word has been with you really since your founding with this work. You said that you when you were 10. So tell us some more about what brought really exploring and making this such a part of your life, your magical practice and
Yeah.
becoming
Oh my
this
gosh, I'd love
witch.
to. So the first book, the magical one that I found, there was a bookstore in Roanoke, Virginia called Ram's Head Bookshop, and
Mm.
it was the one that was now being like an adult and a witch, knowing what I know now, I was like, oh, I didn't see what was going on there when I was like 10 or 11. But that was the place to get more like alternative books and music and things like that. And the book that landed at my feet was one of Scott Cunningham's, and it literally fell off the bookshelf.
Mm.
And as a kid, I was like, and I would take my little babysitting money, and I would go and buy my little herbal books and buy all my stuff. But this book literally fell at my feet, and I was so nervous. I remember taking it up to
Yeah.
the counter to the two gentlemen that worked there, that would lived and worked there together, that would refer to each other as business associates. And I know now, looking, like, oh, they were husbands.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. I love. But I remember taking it up and handing it to this gentleman behind the counter. And I remember he was so handsome, just very Tom Selleck vibe, his leather vest on. He was fabulous.
Right.
And I remember handing him this book, and I was like, sir, I'm so sorry. I was so nervous. Like, this fell off the shelf. And he looked at me, and he looked at his partner, the other gentleman. And, he was like, I think that book picked you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
right.
again, I had a little babysitting money. That's when I was in my little baby bat goth era. So I'd go get my copies of Star Hits, and they would import all this stuff from the UK. That began my lifelong love affair with Kate Bush too. That's where I first discovered her in our middle reference section.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, I have my babysitting money. Please, I'll pay for it. And he was like, no, this is yours.
That's
And
amazing.
I still have that book, and that was 40. Oh my God, that's a lot of math. That was like 4 decades ago.
Yeah,
and I still have that.
That's
it just,
amazing.
when I look back, and I have very fond memories of that shop, and even now thinking about the name, like Ram's Head, I was like, oh,
yeah,
this is
it's
the dots are
now they're connecting.
They're lining up.
But it wasn't, it took the arc of time for those dots to connect as they needed to connect
100%.
appropriately. Right on,
100%.
right on. That is fabulous. I love that story, and I love that that they recognized that moment was a special moment for you. It wasn't just a thing, but they recognized it and were like, okay.
It was amazing. Yeah, Ron, it was amazing. It just felt like very impactful. And when I think about it now, there are times where I think, again, it's been many, many decades. Yeah, I should say it's only been 22 years. It's been many, many years.
There we go.
I just feel right. The goddess, magic source, whatever we want to call it. And at the time, I do feel chosen. I feel that was kind of a gateway for what is like my whole life, like whole path. So
that is fabulous, and rightly so. I can just share real quick. I had a story similar, and this was after high school, though. A girl, she graduated a year ahead of me. She was at the little weirdo bookstore in town, the tiny minuscule place behind, down the side street in a tiny little alcove. We needed those, and she was the one who looked at this book, and she gave me this tiny little book called Mother's Wit. Tiny little book. I don't know if you've heard of it. I still have this book to this day.
I've never
heard I think it was like 1980, maybe.
Okay.
It was. I had just graduated high school. So I'm dating myself. And it was an oldie, but that was another goodie. I think I had already read some other books by other folk, and lots of things, but not to go into my own story. That was another bookstore story, though. So when you told us that this book fell at your feet, and they recognized the two owners recognized it was for you, that was powerful.
Yes, it's finding us, like, because when we think about like a cult, and literally the root of that word, y'all, it's hidden knowledge, and that was just apparently some knowledge that the universe decided my little 10-year-old baby witch self, just needed to have. So
that's it. Right on.
Take it.
Awesome.
Okay. So, can you guys hear me or not?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's saying muted or whatever it is on the top.
No, you're good.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So, from your point of view, what does it mean to be a witch? Because everybody has a different point of view with it.
Yeah. And, I'm gonna two-part this. Okay, I'll be honest. It might drift into like a 3-part. I'm gonna try to get it.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'll try to. I always land the plane. It just takes me a little bit to get there sometimes. My Mercury's in Aries, so it takes. So,
yes.
To be a witch for me was always clarity and power, and it became a solace for me because there were aspects of my childhood, especially that were very, very difficult and very painful and very scary. So it became solace, and it became power, and showed me that like there was a way out. And then as I got older, like through high school, like the rest of junior high and high school in the 80s, I graduated high school in 1990. So I was supposed to graduate in 90. I did graduate a year early because I was a little nerd and a weirdo, and I had a bunch of extra credits. And I think they were just like, let's get her out of here. Like, she gotta go.
Move her through.
She's gotta go. A lot of, especially like through that era, we had this whole resurgence of neo-paganism and witchcraft kind of coming into the forefront. And I liked the fact that it was sort of different, and it was alternative, and it felt like something was mine, because I didn't have a lot of friends at the time that would have called themselves witches or been a practitioner of like any ilk. And it made me feel safe. And this might sound corny, but it always felt like home. It always felt like, even from that first book, I didn't realize the impact of that book dropping my feet. And I didn't realize it got a little bit older, but it felt like I came back home.
Right.
It felt like I came back home. And
Right.
then through all of that journey through like, my 20s and my 30s. And then when I became initiated into the Alexandrian tradition, like I said, I was like 40, almost 41. That's when like I felt like my soul came home, because I hadn't done all of this magical practice before, but that just felt like another very beautiful navigation, the beautiful facet of like my soul and my soul's journey. So for me, it feels like home. It feels like coming home. And
Sounds
it's
good.
safety, and it's like accountability too. I love the accountability of it.
Yes. Actually, what you said there, actually, I've actually told people that when I've been interviewed, that it did feel like I was coming home or being where I'm supposed to be at, or something to that effect. So it's just interesting that you said those words.
I always kind of tear up when I say it, but it feels like coming home. And again, it's like accountability and responsibility and service to something other than is just you.
Right.
These deities, they are like, an honor and a service and a setting up, a reciprocity with things that I've always found really beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. Tell us now, because you've lived this for the majority of your life, let's just say, truly, the majority of your life, you've lived this. So tell us about how now it's a part of your everyday. How do you bring this into your, how is magic every day at this point?
Oh, I love that. Okay, so, I do magical work every day. I have a coven. We meet once a week, and there are things that I do in my Alexandrian tradition, and in my home every day, I do a ritual every morning when I wake up and practice. I do one before I go to bed. I do them for all of my animals. I have 2 kitties and a long-haired chihuahua.
Oh,
my kids.
Yes.
Oh, my kids, y'all. That's what I got. I do rituals for my friends, family, and then literally the work that I do for a living. I'm a psychic and a medium. I'm a tarot reader, and I'm a tour guide. I do a haunted tour like through the quarter. Like it's in every aspect of my life. And then
That's awesome.
being fortunate enough to be asked to do like your wonderful show, and like I've been featured in a couple books. That stuff. No, but this seriously, if you had told like 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old me that this would be my life, like as an adult, there's a part of me, I think, that would have believed her, but still would have been like, and then
just in awe.
Yeah, just like, what? Glamorous, like glamorous guest ever, just in an office shrieking. Then realizing too, like, as what it means to me, as a woman, as a witch too, like growing into the person as an adult that would have protected me when I was younger, and knowing, seeing this and knowing I would get there, but it's been 100% through magical practices in all of them, from
Mhm.
what I did initially to Alexandrian priesthood now, all of it. And I'm very
That is
grateful for all of it and all the lessons
that
that I've learned through it. And, you know,
yeah, because
especially,
that it's what's that? What
I'm
did
just
you
like,
say?
oh,
It's
I'm
it's
just
a
giggling.
it is a full life. It's a full circle
Mhm.
Yes, yes,
when you say
absolutely.
you begin your day and it's a part of your day and it's the work you do, it's the community you work literally, because you're connecting with
Absolutely.
community every day
I feel
at this
so
point. That's
grateful every day.
fabulous. That is fabulous.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about what's important to you, maybe either all together or right now. A little bit about that, if you can.
Something that's always been important to me, but especially right now, I don't want to say theme, because to me a
Mm,
theme sounds like something that's temporary, but justice has been very, 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 very important to me lately. And
Mm,
not just accountability, but
mm,
responsibility and doing the right thing, even if it, isolates people around you, even if it isolates other people, even if it isolates your community, and speaking up and helping people that might not be in a position to help themselves. But just the navigation, and healing and things that I've been through, for the past few years, just justice and clarity, and keeping things above board has been really, really important to me in all aspects of my
right.
life.
beautiful,
I think
beautiful.
Which is
us
very important, actually, because, but
it really is.
Yeah.
And to
it sounds like you're basically saying too, a bit of adulting, because you're saying accountability, responsibility,
Mhm.
which a lot of adults don't do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
um,
a lot of adults don't do a lot of, like,
yeah,
some or magical practitioners, because it's heavy for us, y'all, because we feel,
Mhm.
especially, not that our wonderful magical practitioners that are like, other people don't feel this, but like, we
Yeah.
like things get felt really intensely and really deeply, especially
Mhm.
no matter
yeah,
what our chosen path is, no matter what our
Mhm.
magical work is, when we choose to live this life and not dabble in it, but live this life, it
Yeah.
it can take a toll. I mean, there's a
Yes.
call to practice. Like, we practice things,
right,
right? Because
Yes.
we're doing it every day, and it can absolutely take a toll. So just
yes,
the
absolutely,
justice and accountability, and holding myself, wanting to hold myself to standards, not just to be the best, like, priestess and woman, but like the best person I can be.
right,
And
Yes.
absolutely,
hopefully strong enough, if I do something that is not nice, just being
right,
able to apologize for it or correct it, and move it forward.
absolutely,
No, that
absolutely. That's I love what you just said,
yeah.
because even that's the part that people don't realize. Talking about accountability and responsibility is one
Mhm.
thing, but willing to say, I also hold myself to that as well.
Absolutely.
And to let people know
Perce
that's what I'm going to do, or take responsibility, you
Ho
know, to the
hopefully.
point of almost ridiculousness, because sometimes you see certain situations happen
Yeah.
and you're caught up in it,
Mhm.
and things go either sideways or whatever. And I find myself saying, you know what? It's my fault, because
Mhm.
if I had removed myself from this, I would not be involved in
Absolutely.
this. So, it
Oh,
may be going sideways, but I need to say, if I have removed myself, or if I had not put that
but a
person in charge, it would not be happening. So I would
100.
literally take them and say, you know what? It's not your fault. It's mine. I should have not
Mhm.
depended on that, or whatever it is. And basically, I'm letting them know I'll
Yeah.
Yeah.
accept the responsibility for you, or your accountability for your mistake, or whatever. Yeah. Such
Do
is
you
life.
It's important.
do y'all ever feel like that? I always feel that I'm hopefully navigating well, not
Mhm.
being more proactive with things than reactive, because
Yes.
I think some of that is astrological for me, like zodiacal, where my chart is. Like, I'm a
Mhm.
Pisces, but I'm on the Aries cusp. My moon and my
Mm.
Mercury are in Aries. Venus and Mars are
Mm.
in Taurus, but I'm rising in Sagittarius. So the
Oh,
Right.
older
wow.
that the
Mhm.
more the more I feel Sagittarian. So
Mm.
I like all of the aspects of my chart, but
Yes.
just where something in any aspect of our life or magically could have triggered me 10 years, 20 years ago. I'm like, what? Wait, nope, 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 nope. Let's be proactive instead of reactive. If I know kind of
Yeah.
what you were saying, if I'm in a situation with people where I know I might be triggered or this might make, I have to take responsibility for that and be proactive. And also like, that's where it's like, okay, well, let's rein that, or at least for me going like, well, if I just explain this to them, they'll see that this was wrong. No, they won't.
No.
Like people, especially if it's somebody
Right.
doing the same thing over and over again, they know what they're doing and they know how they're doing it.
Right.
Like just responsible and being proactive and like, I'm just going to extract myself out of this situation so I can continue.
Exactly.
And a good witch, a good priestess, and serve the things that not just serve me, but serve them as best I can and not dwell down here.
Right. No, that's a really
no, but it works. It does work sometimes because some of them you kind of make them realize, oh crap, I did screw up, but she's willing to take the responsibility for it. And it puts them in this funny position of where they're seeing who they are as a so-called adult. And it's an interesting position.
Yeah.
But I've seen it there.
I'm learning that. I'm still very much learning that. So I always want to keep learning that.
Yeah.
It brings up that that other aspect of when you say taking accountability for your own actions, and that phrase that we often use too loosely, perhaps. The only thing you can change is your own behavior.
Exactly.
And that's it in a nutshell. Let's just full stop. Everything starts and stops there.
Yeah,
because it's not my work is not to fix or to walk your path and help. My job is to live mine, and then hopefully, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do on my path, which is own my own shit, as I like to say, own your own shit.
Yeah.
If I'm doing that, then it's, if I can own my own shit, then that's enough.
Yeah.
Because then whoever it is, they'll see what they need to see, and that will adjust for them on their own path.
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
It. Right
And they'll see what they choose to see. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Exactly. No, that's right. They will either take it as a learning thing, or they would just stay stuck in, it's your fault, even though it's them. But they're going to say continuously. So you'll say, you know what? You're right. It's my fault.
You're
Exactly. I just want to call out Mr. Spooky Joey's in the chat, and Mr. Had question. Thought on enchantments in the city. Thought on enchantments in the city. Oh, is that? I can't remember. Is that a store? Enchantments? Wasn't that the store? Enchantments
on 9th Street. Well, it used to be on 9th Street, and I think they moved, right?
Oh, and I was like, because I actually lived in New York City for a decade. I lived in New York all through my 30s.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where Enchantments is. I've been here
for
a
long
time.
It used to be on 9th Street, and if you lived in New York for a while, you probably knew it there.
That was a long time ago.
But a long time ago, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
So tell us about these. Tell us about what's happening with you with community. Tell us about you work literally in the French Quarter, so you're surrounded by community. But tell us about what's important. What are the things that you would like to do with the community that you're in, or the community that you're working with right now?
I always just literally like day to day what I do, like being in the shop. And one thing that I've noticed with community, especially since I've been doing tours, I meet people from all over the world, y'all. And it is so cool. So people have questions about different types of magical practice, about witchcraft, and like I am not the fount of all knowledge by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like how I have, like, it's probably about this much, and then the rest is like, oh, bless her. She's trying. Just being able to recommend, other businesses, other wonderful businesses that are here in the city, other books, and on the rare occasion that we wouldn't have them, being able to write something down and be like, look up this author, you might like this. This might be a great candle for you. Like that to me is one, I love doing it. I love talking
Yeah.
to people about it. But a lot of times, like after the tour, that's usually like between my two tours, I have like a little half hour break. I usually don't take it because people have questions. They want to talk. And like, again, that like what a gift to be, not to sound hokey, but what a gift to be able to do this
Right.
as my life and
Yes.
excuse me, as my livelihood. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of how I can help, or I can give back. I can talk to people that come here and visit, or even like local people that live here, and just anything that I can like suggest or help out
Yeah.
with, I always want to do.
That
Yeah.
is
I always want to
fabulous.
Awesome. Yeah.
in any place that you live, in any magical community, there's always going to be, fusses between witches and different sanctions and different, that's just in the world.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, I got my world that I do, and
Yeah.
I stay out of anything like that in any aspect of my life. One of my friends, he's like, girl, you got two speeds. He's like, you are about 98% like what y'all are seeing. This that is just sweet and chatty, da, 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 da. And then the 2% that's not, that's the side that people don't want to see, because it takes a lot to get her out. But when she's out, it takes a lot to get her back in too. So
Right.
I think we all have that in us,
Yes. Yes.
I want to, I do. I think that the way that it's just a gift to be able to come into an environment and have this in my daily life. And
Yeah.
I'll have people stop me in the grocery store in my neighborhood, and that
Mhm.
will randomly ask, like, do you know anything about tarot cards? That happened the other day in the Rouse's by my house. Rouse's,
Wow.
Rouse's
Wow.
to us is like, how in New York you have like dags everywhere. That's Rouse's is kind of our vibe with that.
Right.
And
Right.
this lady, and I was like, yes. And she's like, no. And then she got really nervous. I was like, oh, I gave her my card. I was like, this is actually what I do. And I was like, I
Right.
love that you asked me that. And I ended up talking to her for like 25 minutes. And
Wow.
Oh,
she's
there you
like, I
go.
heard I can't buy my own tarot deck. I was like, oh, no. I was like, it's wonderful to be gifted them. Sure.
Sure.
But buy the ones
Yes.
that you like, because, I was talking to her about the meanings of the cards and all that. But I was like, what if 20 people have been so gracious to give you 20 different decks, and the images on the deck, the art you don't respond to? So that, let's say this is our little deck. That deck's just going to sit there on your shelf.
Yeah.
So it's okay to buy your own. It's okay to be gifted your own. Like just having conversations like that and opening up those dialogues, I think that is hopefully what I contribute and
That's
give back to my community, because I love it.
Oh,
that's
I
already quite a bit.
questions.
right. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's quite a bit.
Mm. So, what would you like to see us as? Because this is something that we have to all kind of ask sometimes. Like, what would you like to see us as witches accomplish? Like, there's so many different things, but
Yeah.
some people, everybody takes on different aspects of it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I kind of what we were talking about earlier about being proactive and
Right.
reactive and taking taking responsibility, and also knowing when to let things go,
Yeah.
when to let frustrations go, when to and now I wish there was a more eloquent way to say this, but there isn't. Now I am by no means saying take anybody's shit.
Mhm.
Because you know how we say down here, this is one of my grandma's phrases, somebody hangs their ass out, you got to let them know. Like, sure.
Yep.
Or, sometimes if you got to fold somebody's clothes while they're still wearing them, you got to do that too.
Right.
But that discernment and having that accountability, and realizing that in all aspects of our life, but especially sometimes with our magical practices, sometimes as we grow and change and evolve as humans, as practitioners, sometimes people are only going to see us, or only choose to see us, as the aspect of who we are that they feel like they have the most power over.
Mhm. Well
And
said.
that, to me, but in a few aspects, that's been a rough navigation. Like, just honestly, it's been in a few aspects of my life, because that's well, I've done this and I've done so much work, and it can be in anything. And why don't they see? Why don't they see? Because they choose not to.
Mhm.
Because I've evolved, or you've evolved, Star, Rhonda, you've evolved past things, and we all have people in our lives that are only going to see see us in the aspect of us. Say they met us when we were going through a bad breakup or an
Right.
injury, or we had just quit a job or lost a job or in a transition, and we could have felt completely pulled apart. And then once we navigate past that, there's sometimes people that can evolve with us, and there's sometimes people that can't. And same. Just having the discernment to be like, you know what, I'm gonna keep on trucking. I'm gonna keep on moving forward. Maybe our paths can meet again, but I'm gonna release this energy, because it does drag like your chakras down. It drags your energy down. And just having that discernment to be like, you know, it's okay if we
Yes, to let
evolve
it go.
past.
Yeah.
And by let it go, and again, like I was saying earlier, it doesn't mean taking anybody's shit. And if somebody is saying something about who we are that isn't true, I'm all about somebody defending themselves, but realizing sometimes people want to be like, you know, judge, jury, and executioner, and think about if they've ever even talked to us, ever even said one word to us, ever even interacted with us in any way.
Yeah.
And it's painful and it's frustrating. And as much as there's a part of me that's just like, I ignore it. No, sometimes it really hurts my feelings and I have sads about it, like anybody would.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
that discernment of just like, I'm going to let this go, because I don't need to fix an opinion or in somebody or a situation that I didn't break. And just so
Well said.
we just, sometimes people are only going to see us that way.
Right.
I love
And
that.
it's a funny thing that you brought up that aspect of it, because I find that in our community, there are so many people that have so many what I term Christian moments, judge, jury, and executioner. And you're sitting there going, oh, that's from back when you were whatever it was, right? Because it's certainly not what we believe in now. Because because I'm sorry, but they do become everybody's judge, jury, and executioner with many things. So I call it what I see it as.
It's true. No, it's absolutely true.
Instead of the elder moment or the senior moment, the Christian moment.
Yes.
You know, kind of a thing. And if you know, and I would just literally go,
not what we do.
You know, sometimes I do kind of interrupt them and go, "You having that Christian moment again?"
Yeah,
and they get all flustered and everything, and I'm like,
like, do you go
I have to do that. You know,
you don't put your church fan out now and start going.
I do the interrupt this kind of a thing, and then they kind of go.
They're like,
that's too
reactive.
good.
It's very reactive.
Like, no, you're cursing yourself with what just came out of your mouth.
Yeah,
we get them here. Like we get during Mardi Gras here, we'll have these huge Christian groups that go, and like Southern Decadence is so much fun. That's our gay Mardi Gras down here, y'all. It's so much fun.
Oh my God.
Everybody's out doing their thing. Like it is a blast. We have it during Mardi Gras. It'll happen during Jazz Fest, where these huge Christian groups will come up, and they are, you know, what a sin to do this, a sin to do that. And there's a part of me that's just like, well, y'all, what is not a sin? Like, can I walk across the street without burning in hell? Like, are you okay?
Right.
Exactly. Having a Christian moment.
We will get people that will come and just stand in front of the shop, and you could tell like a few people that like they want to come in, and the other one's like, well, there's witches in there. I'm nervous.
Right.
And if I'm out front, I'm just like, how you doing? You okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah.
But when people come in the shop, we're always like, hey, y'all, how you doing? Can we answer any questions for y'all? Please let us know. We've got readers here today. And people are just like,
oh, she's human. She's nice. She's not what I thought she was.
You guys are nice. It's like most of the shops that you go to, not just in New Orleans, anywhere, are nice. If you go into an attitude of with that, then yes, because we have to protect ourselves. Because you've already made this preconceived notion that whether someone is a witch or a voodoo practitioner or like Palo or Kimbanda, what you've already decided that they're off, that we're all sinners and we're all going to curse you. And it's like,
yes.
Well, one, who has the time for that? That's exhausting.
Right.
And two, it's like you've literally already cursed yourself by being in this mindset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing that. Like none of us, we just aren't going into
it takes energy. That's what they don't understand. It takes energy to do that.
They do it to us.
Yeah.
Like Hex Fest.
We're wasting our energy on that. No,
I know Witch Fest has before. Like it's just we're not doing that to you guys, because well, quite frankly, and this might be a little scandalous, but I feel like there's more of an evolution when you're on the
Yes,
path that
yes,
we're on.
absolutely.
There's more of an evolution, and I mean, let's be honest, we have more fun.
We
Our
do.
parties are better.
Our
Like, we
parties are better. And we
we
also and we
we
also
have more fun.
we also own that the response is with us, not with
Absolutely.
somebody at the front of the church.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
We own the
just one
responsibility
person.
for it. And so
Yeah.
there's a difference in that. Wait, anyway. Let's talk a little bit more. So, am I jumping your no. Let's talk about the projects you have going on, Carrie. I mean, you're busy. You stay busy.
Hope so.
But tell us about any particular projects you might have or you're thinking about doing.
So, one of the things that I want to work on,
Mhm.
eventually, I want to have like my own podcast, my own interview show, but I want to split it a couple ways because I love witchcraft, spirituality, and I love paranormal research. So,
Yes.
a lot of these shows that you see, a lot of them are helmed by men. And it's usually
True.
these dudes running in there just like, "Scratch me!" Just ridiculous. And then they
yeah,
get scratched by a demon, and
Yeah.
then they cry and have a panic attack for like 3 weeks.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but a lot
True.
of them are helmed by men. So that's a huge passion of mine. But also, y'all, I love to cook.
Oh,
I
tell me
love
more.
to cook. So I feel like food is a great equalizer in a lot, like
Yes.
across, especially across cultures, across different types
Yes.
of belief systems. So I've had this idea that's been percolating in my head for a while where I want to do. Okay, for example, Rhonda, say that you have a haunting, or Star, you have a haunting you want me to investigate,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I would come and meet you either at your home shop, and I begin the show like, my guest today is going to be Rhonda, and we talk about where you're from, what you're experiencing a little bit.
Mhm.
And then before we do any type of investigation, we sit down and have a meal together that we've either cooked, that is a recipe that you love, that your family loves, that's from someone's culture, or
mhm,
you
Yes.
take me to your favorite little hole in the wall for your favorite little piece of pie, or
right,
like
Yes.
a little snack
right.
here. And then while we're having that, while we're eating, then tell me about the experience. So I
Yes.
want to combine it as a kind of like a food show with a little bit of travel and a little bit of paranormal research. And then I would do the
Mhm.
investigation. And then at the end, you know, uh, just
Well,
here's your
she
meal
would
kind of thing.
now that you've put this out into the universe, we are
I
expecting to
know.
see, and I will
Oh, I know.
gladly lend to all of the above because
Thank
that's one of
you.
my cooking as
Yes,
well. So
yes.
that would be
But
lovely.
I love cooking.
Yeah.
I love, it makes me so happy. And
Yes.
I don't know how to cook. Like if I'm just cooking I don't know how to do that. I make enough food for
Yes.
like 4 people. Like
Right.
I don't know how to do that. But I think especially as a magical practitioner, just being able to connect and put that energy in food and in drink, I think is so
Yeah.
important.
Mm,
And I just, I love to travel. I think a lot of it, is again that rising in Sagittarius. So I'm like, new
Yes.
person, new culture, new people. Let's go.
Yes.
What do you
Let's
like to eat? Tell me about your art. Tell me about your history. Tell me what your passions are. Tell me about your family. Tell me about your heritage. Tell me about your ancestry. Like I love all of that. I think
yeah.
it's so important for us to connect and talk that way.
mhm,
So
That's
that is
beautiful.
that
okay.
is one of the things that I'm working on.
Oh wow, yes.
Beautiful.
Well, like
Beautiful,
Rhonda said,
beautiful.
it's out in the universe now. You've spoken it. So this time next year, we
Yes.
might be on your show.
I
That's
was just
right.
gonna say, y'all are gonna get that from me, like, do you remember when I was sitting in the shipping office doing my after I did my tour, and you guys said, "Well, guess who's coming to New York?"
Right on.
That
Because
would be
when
so
I was there,
awesome.
I
That would
did
be awesome.
paranormal investigations and stuff there too, but I wanna do that because a lot of times people are anxious to tell their stories, especially when they have an experience like that. And a lot of these experiences do almost turn into almost like a family elemental where every member of that family will have it.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I feel like when you sit down and you eat with somebody, it is calmer, it is grounding. and you can
Yes.
truly and let that, not to sound hokey, but like let that person know, like, I want to hear your story, and I'm a safe space like this, and this is judgment free, and like I
Yeah.
believe you.
Right. Right.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Right
I
on.
believe you, and if I can help, I want to, or I want to be able to get in touch with people that can help you and help this energies go away that need to go away.
Yeah.
That is
That's
fabulous.
That's the
that's
goal.
awesome. Yeah.
That is
Awesome. Awesome.
fabulous.
From your lips to the goddess's ears.
Yes, may it be so.
Yes. Hopefully she's like,
Yes.
say that one more time. She's moving her hair.
From
Moving her,
your lips to the goddess's ears and
what?
up.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
All right. So aside from projects, I love that project you have in mind. So we know we're gonna be there.
Yes.
What events do you have going on, maybe at the end of this year or going into next year?
Yeah, honestly, just through the end of this year, I'm just kind of focusing on that end of year reset with Yule. Like I love Yule so much.
Yeah.
And in my brain, especially like the winter solstice and the summer solstice, in my brain, I'm just like, ooh, the Oak King and the Holly King are fighting again. Yeah, get my popcorn ready. And like,
Yes.
I know you got
Yep.
your 6 months.
The fight is on.
Let's duke it out. But I feel like y'all are just like, why are we having her on again? She's our special guest.
No, I love
No. This is fun. That's the whole idea of
Yes.
this, is that people get to know the person
Yes.
and know what they are like. So this is good. This is all good.
But just really, really reset my compass for what I want to do for the next 2 years, like a few years, like just professionally and being, the most present person I can be, being the most accountable person I can be, like really honoring like my magical path. And, I'm in a huge healing aspect of my life, and
Right.
it's a lot of good stuff. And I want to really focused on just resetting that compass and how I want to go into 2026. Cause on my birthday's March 15th and I'll be 54. And in my brain,
Oh, hey.
I'm just like, wait a minute, that's my second Saturn return.
Right.
Whoa, this is all making a lot of sense now.
Yeah.
This
You're
is all
going
making
through a second cycle. Awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like Saturn,
Yeah.
'cause like Saturn is, we know they're it's like one of our grand malefics, like Mars, and Saturn's the sickle. And I always feel like Saturn, when we are on a path and we're vibrating or doing something that is beneath us or that we shouldn't do, or it's not for our greater good, that's when those little small accidents will happen. But I almost can feel that planet taking off one of those rings and just like bop you up something, like knock it off.
Yeah.
Like, remember when you were in the car as a kid with your parents and you're fussing, they're like, don't make me come back there. I feel like that's what Saturn does. Especially when we're hitting that
That's awesome.
second Saturn return. It's just like, when you did that, it didn't work out the first or the second or the third. So let's recalibrate. So just
awesome.
just recalibration in a lot of different aspects of my life, and a resurgence. I think it's the Charo hair.
Love that. I love that. So cute. So cute. So I just want to say this has been a fabulous conversation. Just a chit chat, and I love that. I love that. I just want to confirm.
Yes.
Darth Borealis is your handle on Instagram. Darth Borealis. Darth is in Darth Vader.
And it's all lowercase and all one word. So Darth like Darth Vader and Borealis like Aurora Borealis, and it's all just smushed together.
And that's where people can find you. Of course, they can find you at the shop down on Decatur Street in the French Quarter. Absolutely.
Lurking in the shop.
Working in the
lurking, maybe occasionally twerking. I don't know.
Hey.
Any twerking I do, y'all, like I said, any twerking I do is like where I've just like tripped over something and then just action starts happening.
No,
like,
minimize it. Don't minimize it.
It does happen.
You can still get it going. You can still get it. Been fabulous. Thank you.
Yes, great having
much
you
again.
I enjoyed this so much.
And everybody, check out some of our older shows here on Magickal Witchy World TV.
Well,
That
everyone,
was fun.
I know, I know.
That was so much fun.
That was a fun conversation. She was great. I
Yeah.
Okay, so our astrology for November is continued, and we are at the last three signs, beginning with Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn, the holiday season arrived early for you with invitations galore. An
Mhm.
active social sector at the start of November meant parties and events. However, this doesn't mean you're skimping on your career. You've got top secret projects occupied your work life when Mars slid into your 12th house on the 4th. The best night for a romantic evening was with your partner was on the full moon on the 5th. That was actually a great date night for you. Grab a reservation at your favorite restaurant and let the sparks fly. If you're single, when Venus went into Scorpio on the 6th, it gave you a nudge to get yourself out there. A few admirers might catch your eye, adding intrigue to your month. Hold off on making decisions because of Mercury will be retrograde from the 9th all the way through to the 29th, which is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay. It's best to take your time getting to know someone first. This period may also lead to misunderstandings with friends, creating unnecessary complications. The new moon on the 20th was ideal for an early holiday celebration with your friends. And the very next day, the sun settled into the introspection section of your chart, which might have you turning in early rather than dancing the night away.
Hmm.
On Thanksgiving, which was yesterday, your ruling planet Saturn stationed direct. After months of caution, you can plan for the future or travel and state your needs confidently.
Hmm.
Venus in Sagittarius on the 30th means you don't have to be totally alone unless you choose to be. Okay,
That's
so you have
right.
your choices and options.
Right on. Now
Yes,
for you Aquarians, Aquarius. This month, November, could have been a marvelous month for your career. There's still a couple days left, so let's work
yes,
on that. The sun illuminated your star power, making it easier to achieve accomplishments. When Mars went in your social sector back on the 4th, it brought allies to you, the support you needed in every situation. Suddenly, your rise to the top was doable. Tying up loose household ends on the 5th at full moon was also possible. Hopefully, you took advantage of that. Now it's time to get your holiday decorated. Have more time to focus on those lofty goals. Your reputation got love when Venus waltzed into Scorpio 6th. While you might have felt a little invincible, Mercury retrograde on the 9th threw a couple of big grains of sand in your gears. That's all right. Your words may have fallen flat, which left many people a little disappointed. It's best not to promise more than you can deliver. Authenticity will
yeah,
always go a long way. And that had you applying for a new job, perhaps back on the 20th, you were looking at some new opportunities. It may have created new job or business opportunities around that new moon. If you want to level up, send in your resume. Holiday events begin to grab your attention when the sun skipped into Sagittarius back on the 21st. So it may have been a great time to take an extended holiday. This month is a good time to take advantage of that. Perhaps when Mercury stations direct beginning tomorrow, you'll be able to negotiate work matters gracefully or even job. Schedule some time for celebrations with your sweetheart also after the 30th when Venus swoops into Sagittarius. Romantic adventures and conversations keep the fires burning bright well into next month. Right
all
on.
right. And last but not least, Pisces. Many people travel this time of year for vacation or family holidays, especially on the 3rd, the 5th, the 20th, or the 30th. And you may have been one of those folks thanks to the sun's tour of your ninth house as November commences. Where do you want to go? Book your ticket and grab your passport. At Mars Neptune trine on the 3rd was fabulous for overseas adventures, international,
Mhm.
which don't do right now. The full moon on the 5th and the new moon on the 20th were the most spectacular days for travel. But Mercury retrograde from the 9th through the 29th could throw monkey wrenches into your plans. At least it's over tomorrow, okay?
Yes, yeah.
Need to have alternate routes just in case. Your ruling planet Jupiter stationed retrograde on the 11th, urging caution with investments. It's best to play it safe if you want to remain secure. Your career sparkled when the sun propelled into the reputation section of your chart on the 21st. However, the big glow up occurred when Venus joined the sun on the 30th, and that's going to make you happy or happy angles to Neptune. Okay. Your reputation gets a boost on the 30th. So be ready to accept your flowers. All right. And
You're
enjoy
right.
it.
Oh, so you know what time
Okay.
it is.
Yes.
Card.
All right.
So
So, Rhonda, what are we pulling our cards on tonight?
we just came off of this U.S. here Thanksgiving. So, however you celebrate, if it's your acknowledgement of giving thanks or just a quiet day with family and friends, lovely. I just wanted to take a time. Let's ask the cards what is something not acknowledging that we ought to be giving thanks about? What are we missing? What's the thing that is calling our attention that we about? We perhaps overlooked it, forgot about it.
Ah, okay. What have you gotten?
Oof. Okay.
That bad,
Again,
huh?
yeah, no, I just, I love when you get called out. I'm still with tarot, and I have the page of wands. What am I thankful for? And I read page I primarily as aspect of self. I rarely read them as just the energy. So in this instance, since I'm asking what is the thing that I have overlooked or not acknowledged that I should be thankful for, I want to recognize and give thanks for. And I will say, because this is fire, this is my energy of transformation. It's where my passion is, it's my action, but it's my page and it's the part of me. It's that part of me that says, I am open to trying new things. Instance, I am definitely going to say yes. This is a part of me that I don't typically, I have not in the last couple of months put a lot of, given a lot of, because I have slowed down so much. This is me
Mm,
saying, this is me acknowledging that I have to be grateful for looking at things differently and exercising different mindset when it comes to where and how I spend my energy. That page, this is that different mindset. This is the childlike mind saying, okay, there's other ways of going about this.
got it. It sounds
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
you know.
And I am grateful for that. I am grateful for that way of thinking. Doing things differently does not mean you have to give things that you have to say fair. You just got to do it differently.
Well, I got the High Priestess, and
Right
it's
on.
interesting because it's from the deck The Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, and I think I'm being called out. um, not that I don't appreciate. I think I sometimes get tired of
Mm,
having to do so much,
mhm. Mhm.
and I should be thankful for the fact that I have all those things going on in my life. Maybe I don't know. Um,
Mhm.
but sometimes I just feel like it's a bloody burden,
I hear you.
and it can be hard or burdenous to carry some of this, and but she still says to me that just see it for what it is. It's part of what I've grown into, and I deserve it. Not the burden part, but what it comes with.
Mhm.
If I'm not
Mhm.
explaining it right, but I know what I mean. I'm not saying it right, I don't think. But I know what I mean, and I agree with it.
And we give
I know what it
thanks,
means, and I
and
agree
we
with it.
give
Yes.
thanks, and we give thanks.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, I hope
Absolutely.
you had a fabulous. We had to in my household part deux. So I know when I spoke to you earlier, Star, I must have sounded like who would have thought. But in any case, we did a celebration tonight.
Yes.
We did our just hanging out with family and
Okay.
had good times and good food, and I did cook, and it was a lot. I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
How I
Okay.
hope you had a
I'm not
wonderful time with family. I know you're
I don't have much
Canadian,
family
so
here in the United States. And honestly, Thanksgiving is not really my thing, but my friend did invite me to his house and I went. So I'm thankful for him. And in the sense that, I went because he's being who he is, extending out
yes,
the invitation and saying, let's
yeah,
do some stuff. Doing me, he cooked the turkey and certain things, and I brought other food that I made
right on.
to share,
That's it.
you
That's
know.
it.
It's the thing. Yeah. So that
That's
was
it.
nice. So I hope everybody else had a wonderful
Awesome.
holiday, however or whatever they celebrate it
How we
like.
celebrate,
Um,
right?
like you
If
said, it's not my holiday per se because in Canada, where I'm from, it's in October,
yes, yeah,
Thanksgiving, and our witch, as a witch, Mabon is our Thanksgiving, and it's for the harvest and what it
yeah,
brings to the land. The land is giving to us as food to get through the cold weather.
that's right,
So I'm thankful for that. So I saw it as just talking about that, not nothing else, and not seeing it for what it is,
right.
and seeing it for what it is actually.
And I
Um,
have to say, I growing up here in I don't live in Jersey now, but growing up in New York, it was a big parade. This is all my childhood, so I watched the parade.
yeah.
This is like ritual. I gotta watch the parade while I'm cooking. I I gotta wait for old Santa to come through. Pagan, but I like my little woodsman. I want to wait for little Santa to
Got it,
come
got
in,
it. I understand. I understand.
and then I got
Um,
do all the things. So did all that,
yeah.
and then 3 football games yesterday. That was
Oh
that was
dear
part of
goddess.
it. Yep, all the way to
I,
the bitter
I
end.
used
I
to
was
like
upset.
watching of
Everyone
all the
lost that I
sports.
wanted to win. Every one of them.
ev- Honestly, of all the sports, I have loved football and hockey.
Yes,
Hockey because I'm Canadian. That's
yes,
just in general, in that sense. Um,
yes,
Football because I got to watch the men bend over and watch their
yeah,
butts, the ones that have nice. I'm sorry,
yeah.
but that's my thing.
Hey,
The
them
rest of them I find
also
boring and I
good.
don't like.
Oh,
So,
see,
and I don't
I'm
look to
also
see who's winning because I'm just looking for the butts. I'm gonna
I'm a
say the butt shots. And for some reason,
yeah.
we got either
There's
camera women or cameramen that love looking at butts because they do a lot of butt shots. I remember that.
yeah, there's lots of them. It
There's
is
a lot of butt
good.
shots.
It's
Anyways,
nothing wrong with
next
that.
week our guest will be Sahira Anisa Elfanis, and she's coming on the not is it next week or December 5th? Yes, next week.
Mhm.
Wow, we're in December already. Holy crap. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And Rhonda and I would
Scare
like to
me.
thank
Scare me now.
all of you in the chat
Yes.
tonight or on the playback, and thank our guest, Carie Ewers, for
Hey,
being with us.
yes.
Huh?
I was
Oh,
just saying
yeah.
hi to Melissa, somebody in the chat. Hey, Melissa. Thanks for
Oh, okay.
joining.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And Rhonda,
Please, everybody do like, subscribe, share. Please do share and give us a thumbs up. We are hoping as we roll into 2026, this will be our what year, Star? I can't even think of it now. This will be our third year, fourth. I don't even fourth year.
oh my goodness, is it our fourth year already?
I
I don't
think it's
know.
4 years.
Oh dear
Remember?
goddess.
But
I
we
can't remember.
we we got we
Okay.
gotta.
All right. Okay. At
Yes,
least
thank
we're
you
in
all
at
so
the
much for
beginning of
supporting
our
us.
fourth
We
year.
really
The beginning
appreciate
of
it.
our fourth year.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, be the
All
beginning.
right.
So thank you all so much for joining and supporting us. We really appreciate it. Have a wonderful week.
Yes.
And we'll see
Bye.
you on we'll see you next time. Bye
Yes.